What up, suckers? I am still in a hotel, but that means free breakfast and a gym and a pool and jumping on the bed with my kids without getting in trouble from the beautiful wife because the bed isn't ours. But enough horsing around. It's time for previews and predictions, starting with Atletico Madrid versus Barcelona. Just when Barcelona finally has a chance to regain the top spot from Real Madrid, and Madrid is playing against Villarreal this weekend on the road, and given their current road form, you just don't really know how they're going to perform. Luis Enrique and his men have to face Atletico Madrid, a team that has lost only once in their last 28 games at the Vicente Calderon Stadium and are coming off a great performance midweek against Bayer Leverkusen in the Champions League, while Barcelona still seem to be feeling the effects of that 4-0 what beatdown from PSG about 10 days ago. So my prediction is going to be my career mode team, and yes, career mode is coming back next week, so all you guys that are looking for it, you can chillax, it is coming. Well, they're going to beat Barcelona 2-1. And now let's talk about a cup final in Southampton versus Manchester United, which deserves this week's cool graphics and voiceover insight from Previews and Predictions Correspondent Adrian from Rabona TV. Adrian?
Saints must be thirsty, dogs. They haven't won a major trophy since 1976. Dry spell. But in this cup run, they've defended well. Besides stomping Sunderland 4-0, their form hasn't been great of late, but Nudu Gabbiadini helps their scoring chances with 3 goals and 2 starts. Pretty good, but Zlatan's numbers are better, as United's form is trending in the right direction with Zlatan scoring, Pogba improving, and life pretty boring for De Gea, as they've only conceded 4 goals in 10 matches. Mickey might be out, but Martial has been incredible lately, and speaking of incredible, Mourinho's record in cup finals is just that, as he's won 10 of 11 competitive finals. And I think he'll turn 3 league cups into 4. 3-1 United.
The telling stat for me is Mourinho's nearly unbeatable record in cup finals at 10 out of 11. That is incredible, and it's clear that he knows how to get his team ready for big games, which is my way of agreeing with Adrian on this one, because I think United's going to win too. And now let's head to France for Le Classique between Marseille and PSG. The last time these two clubs met in this classic derby, it was in Paris, and Marseille manager Rudy Garcia decided that negative tactics, highlighted by him playing 5 in the back, was the best course of action, and it ended 0-0, and I want those 90 minutes of my life back. This time around though, it is in Marseille, where they have won 6 out of their last 7 games. Dimitri Payet and Patrice Evra have finally settled into the team, or I hope they have, and for security reasons, no away fans are going to be allowed into the stadium. So all 65,000 supporters in attendance will be cheering for the home side. So my prediction, even though PSG is a little bit more talented, I think emotion is going to carry the day, and Marseille is going to get the win 2-1. And now we head to Italy for Inter Milan versus Roma and Napoli versus Atalanta. Because these are the top 4 teams in Serie A, not named Juventus, so they all need the full 3 points to try and keep pace with the old lady at the top of the table. Otherwise, it is over. Never mind, it is already over, but don't tell them that. Because 5th place Inter, who have won 8 straight games at home, hosts 2nd place Roma, who have won 7 out of their last 8 overall. So this is gonna be a great game, and I'm not even taking into consideration that it has 2 of the best attacking talents in Italy right now, Mauro Icardi versus Edin Dzeko. So I'm gonna say 2-2. And then 3rd place Napoli hosts 4th place Atalanta, and even though Napoli got slapped around by Real Madrid in the Champions League recently, I still think they have too much class for one of the most surprising teams in Europe this season in Atalanta. And I think Napoli's gonna win 3-1. And here are the rest of the games and teams and storylines I'll be keeping my eye on this weekend. Like Leicester City, because what in the absolute are they doing firing the guy who did the impossible for them last season and who just got named last month as the FIFA Coach of the Year, which is given to the best coach in the whole world? They should fire themselves after selling N'Golo Kante. And who do they expect to fill his spot now that every candidate knows that the owners will fire you after having massive success? It's a joke, and they deserve to be relegated. And yes, that sounds harsh, and maybe it is too harsh, but that's just how I feel. And Hamburg, after beating Bayer Leverkusen, FC Cologne, and RB Leipzig in 3 out of the last 4 games in all competitions, they now see themselves out of the relegation zone for the first time, and it feels like forever. I feel like they're always hanging out there. And they got into the quarterfinals of the DFB Pokal, so things are on the up and up for Hamburg until they play Bayern Munich this weekend, because I think them feeling good about themselves is probably over. And I'll be watching Benfica and Porto, who are playing against weaker teams this weekend, and I'm very curious to see how Tottenham does against Stoke, because I want to see their response after they got knocked out of their favorite competition, the Europa League. And I'll be keeping my eyes on PSV Eindhoven, because since they barely got beat at home against Eredivisie leaders Feyenoord a few months and 16 games ago, they haven't lost, and they're unbeaten on the road in their last 24 games, which is an incredible stat no matter what league you're in. And I just think they're gonna be going out for all-out revenge on the road against Feyenoord, but Feyenoord's pretty good, so I bet they draw. And finally, y finalmente, it's a Clásico Joven between Mexico City rivals Club America and Cruz Azul. And even though both of these teams are near the bottom of the table in Liga MX after 7 games, the hate for each other is real, and those games are always fun to watch. All right, that is it. I am done talking about previews and predictions, but for you, I hope you guys have a good weekend, and please be on the lookout in FIFA 17 for fancy footwork because it's coming back, as is Career Mode. The Season 2 premiere drops next week, as does my big MLS preview, so you probably should subscribe and like and do all that fun stuff. Later!